When Captain America throws his mighty shield, all you Hydra enemies will yield. When Red Skull comes a-calling, the Captain will find him and punch him in the chops right now.
Are you riffing?
I'm totally riffing. That's not the lyrics.
I realised when I was like one sentence in, I didn't know the rest of the song.
I was just riffing. I don't know the rest of the song either. I made it up.
So this is our little bit belated review of Captain America Civil War.
Which, judging by the box office, you all went and saw.
Yeah.
So that's good. Good
good.
work. Good for you. So Support Marvel.
Support Marvel, not DC. What did you think?
Well, I'd like first off, should we introduce ourselves? Because we didn't do that.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot. So I am Captain X.
And I'm Rogue One. Hello. So, yeah.
If we do the non-spoilers first, give our ratings and then spoilers, that seems to work quite well.
Yeah, it usually seems happy. Right then. So it's very good. There you go. It's got everyone in it.
No spoilers there.
No spoilers there. A basic plot is it's kind of a loose adaptation of the Civil War comic from 2006, 7, something like that, I want to say. And yeah, Captain America and Iron Man are on opposite sides of an argument because of something that happens whilst the Avengers are off on a mission. Something goes wrong. And on the one hand, you have Iron Man siding with the governments of the world who want to sort of regulate the heroes and sort of control them a bit more and tell them where they can go and what they can do. And on the other hand, you have Captain America who says that no, I don't want to be told where I can go and what I can do. I just want to be able to, if I see trouble, I want to go there and I want to help out. I don't want to be told you can't go somewhere if I feel like I should go somewhere. That's not what I'm about at all. And so then you have all the other Avengers sort of arguing it back and forth. And it's really good and interesting. And and it's excellent. And it picks up on some threads from Winter Soldier, including the titular Winter Soldier. And Black Panther's in it, which is cool. And as you'll know from the last trailer that dropped before they did it, Spider-Man's in it. There you go.
Okay, so it's really sad. I kind of feel sorry for Joss Whedon because Age of Ultron got a lot of bashing.
Oh.
And I kind of feel like what people wanted was what they got in Civil War.
Oh.
Like, because, you have the first movie
where the team
group
comes
get together, the second movie, the team break apart. This, I think, is what people wanted but didn't get.
You see, I disagree. I believe that you can't. I mean, you might be right about what people wanted and didn't get, but I believe that you can't go from the Avengers and then go to them arguing and breaking apart. I think you have to show them as a functioning team doing their thing. And arguably,
that's what the end of Avengers is.
Yeah, but I think you have to show them in one movie as a functioning team doing all their fun stuff.
That's the point. They're not functioning in Age of Ultron. They're not.
They are. Don't look at me like that. They are.
They're not They're not a optimal functional team. They are at the beginning. They start to fracture.
Yes, but it's only little
things.
It's only little things, and they come together.
I disagree, but I think it's a real shame in that regard, because this is such a good film.
Yeah,
this is such a good film. It's very well crafted. It's very well balanced, considering how many
characters,
countries,
and characters and stuff. Yeah, and it's a real globe-trotting thing, and basically the reason why Captain America goes from sort of an objector who just sort of objecting verbally to someone who objects properly is that. Can I go into
that's spoilers?
Oh, okay, I won't then. But yeah, it's very well done, and I think it's interesting what you say about sort of bringing up the Joss Whedon Avengers movies, because like the Joss Whedon Avengers movies, the bits that I enjoy the most in this film are the bits when all the characters are sitting around or standing around talking about their various sides on this debate and why they're there at all. Like the bit when they're just in Avengers HQ, sitting around in the kitchen / sort of briefing area and just sort of talking it through and just debating their various points. And you've got Falcon on one side, War Machine on the other side, and the Vision and Scarlet Witch and Black Widow and Cap and Iron Man. It's really good. And it's like the Avengers. It reminds me of the Avengers when all the Avengers were all on the helicarrier just talking and just having scenes and stuff. I always want more of that.
I think it's at its strongest when there are the domestic scenes. Like there's a really nice scene between Vision and Scarlet Witch. It's not a spoiler,
lovely
but it's
scene.
A nice kind of cooking scene which makes it very down to earth and very human. Because I think that's the problem with with Batman v Superman, Superman never really feels human.
Even though
he's in a bathtub, and it does make sense.
Yeah.
Batman is way too human. Wonder Woman, you never really get to know.
You don't get to know her, but she's not anyway, and she's.
So I really do think that Civil War, bearing in mind that they only had to balance 3 characters in Batman v Superman, and they had I don't know, like 10 odd characters. They had to balance 10, 12 characters.
What, in this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like major players.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
And they just did it effortlessly. Like I know a lot of effort went in. I know there's teams working their butts off to get this working, but it just comes across like dominoes just falling. Like it just feels natural. Yeah. Everything goes together. Spider-Man's amazing. Ant-Man's genius. Everyone has a little moment to be themselves. It's great.
And do the action and stuff. And Ant-Man is
fantastic, but that's a spoiler. So
no, it's not. Just saying he's great isn't a spoiler.
Yeah, but saying why he's great.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
It's a spoiler.
Yeah.
So I think probably we can't really talk anymore, because I think the best thing about this movie is going in knowing as little as possible.
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to spoil any more. So do you want to give your rating?
Yes, and also the Vision and his jumpers are fantastic.
Yeah, I think they've done that because they've issued a new Vision comic book series where he's created his own family.
That's right,
and they're all dressed in suburban. So I think that is I've actually got that on my wish list. I've got a wish list.
Yeah.
It's been recommended by Comic Book Girl 19, who's awesome, and I trust her judgment. So
we do.
And I do love the Vision, and I've never really read anything kind of post 70s.
That's true.
With him in, so I'd like to read something with him in. I think he's an interesting character. So
he is. He's great.
I think that was a nice nod to the comics.
Yeah.
So what rating would you give it before we get on to spoilers?
Oh. Gosh. Say a 4 out of 5.
I'd say 4.5.
Okay, great.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I really did too. And I should, we've only seen it once, and we saw it a little while ago now because we saw it when it first came out. And I remember it, and I really enjoyed it and stuff like that. But yeah, no, a 4. It's a great 4.
This is 4.5 for me.
Fair enough.
I think if we compare it to the Winter Soldier, it's not quite as strong as Winter Soldier. No. Winter Soldier, I'd probably give like a 4 3/4.
It is so good, the Winter Soldier.
But yeah, it's definitely, it's not the. I think a lot of people, again going back to the Avengers one, the first one was so like, and then the second one just wasn't quite. Whereas this one isn't the same, but it's not so noticeable.
But I mean, I think the thing with you can't recreate what happened in the first Avengers.
I know you can't. It's lightning in a bottle. I know. I'm just saying.
I know, but Age of Ultron is really good.
It is really good. It's one of those movies where I think it will get more appreciation as time goes by.
Because it's a deeper movie. It's more complex.
It is deeper and it's more complex. But Hulk smash.
Yeah,
you can't beat Hulk smash.
But Hulkbuster and Vision and
it's very good. It's very good, but Anyway, we're not talking about.
No, we're not. We're not talking about. I
was just taking it as an illustration.
Oh, indeed.
So what spoilers do you want? I want to talk about Giant Man. Because I had no idea. Apparently, those little bobbleheads.
Yeah.
They got released beforehand, and there was a Giant Man bobblehead.
And then everyone was like, "Oh, so he becomes Giant Man."
And I had no idea. So for me, I had no idea. That was brilliant.
No, I didn't either.
So he's just like Scott Lang. He's like, "Hey, there's going to be something I never tried it once, but I
passed out in a lab and go try it now."
It's huge and it's genius. And the Vision goes into him, and the man went into me.
And
here's
so
your
good.
shield, Captain America.
He's just basically being the fanboy for the audience,
and
audience surrogate, and it's fantastic.
And it fits so well with his character. And then Spider-Man, you got a metal arm. That's awesome, dude. And it's just like
just so you know, usually there's not this much talking during a fight. Yeah. Oh, wait. Best Falcon, Bucky, and Cap moment is
in the car
when Cap kisses Sharon and Bucky and Falcon are watching, and they're both like,
"Oh yeah, go our friend, we love him." Because the funny thing is Falcon and Bucky
don't get
hate
on.
each other.
They don't get on,
and they're in a car, and Bucky's behind Falcon. He's like, "Can you move your seat forward?" And he's like, "No." And then later, they've been knocked out by Spider-Man. And Falcon does something that knocks out Spider-Man.
Yeah, using his remote control.
Yeah.
Falcon remote.
And then like Bucky's like, "Why didn't you do that 5 minutes ago?" And Falcon's like, "I hate you." It's just I just want them two to have like a movie together, just so they get like a road trip movie, Bucky and Falcon.
It's really cool because that's kind of similar to how the relationship is in the comics. Because when Winter Soldier comes back in the comics, Falcon is like, "Oh right, so you're going to get together with this guy, okay?"
So I'm pouring myself a glass of water. Sorry.
But yeah, he's like, so you're going to get together with this guy. Well, that's just great. And they have that similar sort of rivalry to them as well.
I really like that because it was really very human. Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch is great.
Her.
She's great, and we need more Scarlet Witch and Vision because I'm a massive fan of that relationship.
It was very subtly done.
It was.
He was distracted. Yeah, he was distracted.
Distracted when he shot War Machine and crippled him. Oh, that was...
You see, because I knew that if they were going to kill War Machine, I knew they wouldn't have shown it in the trailer because they're not DC. But I was like intrigued. I was a bit kind of like, oh, and I do like that immediately as soon as he hits the ground, Stark's suit says, "We've got a heartbeat." So there's none of this stupid. Is he dead? Is he dead? Because he's not going to die.
And then the other thing I like about that bit is when Falcon lands like right next to him because he's the one that's dodged the blast that Vision fired at him, and there's like, "Hey Tony, I'm so sorry." And then Tony just blasts him to the floor. It's a good thing, and I will say like the thing that disappoints me about Civil War because there is a thing that disappoints me.
What disappoints you?
All right. So you have two sides to the conflict, right? And you have Cap's side and you have Tony's side. And to be fair,
both very well illustrated.
Both very well illustrated, both very well articulated. However, in order to give a kind of cue to the audience to make you be like, well, I probably shouldn't be on that side. They have General Thaddeus Ross, now the Secretary of State, known to be a Hulk antagonist who, is an antagonistic character and always turns up. And despite the fact that he really likes Captain America firstly doesn't like him. And when he turns up, he's generally like General Ross is like being really nice to Captain America. Captain America's like, I don't care, I don't like you. And then it's General Ross, and you're just like, well, I don't trust it because Ross is on the side that's supporting the Accords. Well, no one should sign that anyway. And
he had a mustache. That was the giveaway.
Well, I mean, even so, the Civil War is very civil. Like
it's incredibly civil.
They make it so that. We can have this big fight. I know it is. But
they're not going to kill anyone off, are they?
I know. But to be fair, I mean, they can't go as far in the comics because you can't make Iron Man how he is in the comics because they can't do that. Robert Downey Jr.
He's the cornerstone of the Marvel universe.
Yeah. He was.
Whereas in the actual comic universe, he's not.
True.
He's just a part of it.
Yeah, I know. But it is just.
I mean, I've never read Civil War. I know the story. You told me what happens, and I've read parts of it.
Yeah.
I thought, to be honest, General Ross, I don't like his character.
No.
But you're not supposed to. He's kind of curmudgeon military guy. You're not supposed to agree with him.
I know.
But you can acknowledge that his point of view. They have a point. They do. They actually use the phrase. You are all walking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough. They lost Hulk. Hulk broke Wakanda in 10 minutes.
Well, not Wakanda. It was nearby, wasn't it? It wasn't actually Wakanda.
It was in Wakanda. So we get. I kind of felt the villain was a bit weak, but then that's kind of a Marvel thing. So I don't even really notice it anymore. He was better than some. He's better than some.
Okay, especially because I like that actor. I hope he comes back actually because I do.
Yeah, he will. He'll come back.
Yeah.
Well, big spoiler, he doesn't die. No, that is actually a spoiler because a lot of the villains do die. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So the whole point, you think he's trying to do a load of, mind screwing around. He gets control of the Bucky and triggers him using the code book, which leads to the, shot in the face, which I actually thought was going to start the whole Civil War.
But didn't.
No. I just, it's funny when you see a trailer.
It was good. It was good. Some really good misdirection. Yeah.
I thought, right, okay, Bucky goes rogue, Iron Man becomes his target, and he goes shoot him in the face, and then that starts Civil War. But it isn't.
No.
And then the whole point is that this Baron, Zemo is whatever, bad guy. His family got killed during the Sokovia attacks. He blames the Avengers for it. So he knew he could never kill them, which I think is incredibly enlightened for a villain. Because usually, they take
he's a special ops guy. He's smart.
So he decides that he's going to play mind games with all of them and cause all this discord to so much that they start killing each other. And that he thinks, and quite rightly, it will do more damage if they kill each other rather than a villain killing them.
Because of his special ops background, he knows and has heard about the Winter Soldier and goes looking into him because he knows that the Winter Soldier was, a tool of Hydra and that sort of thing. and suspects that there's more to the Winter Soldier than meets the eye, and then finds out that the Winter Soldier was the person who killed Tony's parents. And
which
gets
is
the video
building
footage.
up the whole time. You keep seeing these little clippets of things, and the whole time you find out he's looking for this video. And there's a really horrific scene where this guy's got him suspended over a sink that's slowly filling with water.
Yeah.
And
Zemo has the commander who has the Winter Soldier codebook. And it's a good death. Strong death.
It's gruesome.
It's nice though. It's good. And
Tony basically just goes, because he's fine at that point. Like he's like,
that's
you know
right.
what?
Yeah. Because they've
friends,
had
I'm here to help you, and I'm like, oh no.
To give this thing some context, they've had their big fight at the airport, where the various sides on each side have a massive fight, and Steve and Bucky get away, and because they know that because Bucky's been framed. By Zemo for blowing up the a UN meeting where they were going to discuss these accords. And also where Black Panther's dad died, which is interesting because they do a lot of Black Panther origin stuff.
Black Panther actually. Black Panther is awesome.
Well, I mentioned that he was awesome, but I couldn't mention anything else.
He is just.
He's really good.
He's not given a great deal of time, but what he does with it is really well done.
Yeah. Okay, but he is very good, and it's surprising because I now don't know what the Black Panther movie is going to be about because I honestly thought it would be a bit more about this, and I'm shocked they killed off his dad because his dad's quite good. Yeah, Black Panther's good. Should we talk about Spider-Man?
I think we've kind of said what we need to say. He's awesome. He's the best Spider-Man ever.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
He's really good, but he's not
better.
The best. Tobey Maguire,
no,
obviously.
Not. Nope.
Yep.
Don't agree.
Okay, fine.
I felt like Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, but he wasn't a very good Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but not a good Peter Parker. This kid is both.
Oh, yeah, interesting point.
It just I know some people didn't like the creepiness of the Andrew Garfield because it was kind of overplayed, but and he didn't. It's you out of your mind, Gobby. You know. I know it's an old movie now, but that's cheesy. It's cheesy.
Fair
enough.
No. What else? What else is there to say?
The final fight, we haven't mentioned that. It's like a three-way fight between Bucky, Winter Soldier, and Iron Man.
We were getting to it, but we got distracted. So yeah, they have the fight between the two sides of the Avengers, and then Steve and Bucky get away because they're chasing down Zemo because they
and there's like 5 more Winter Soldiers, and you think it's going to be awesome, and it goes nowhere, and they get shot in the face. I'm convinced they're going to come back.
Fair enough.
Because being shot in the face, well,
that doesn't stop
Phil
anything.
Coulson got a sword through the chest, and he's fine. And
That's
he's
true.
bleeding, bleeding everything.
So Zemo goes to this place, and everyone thinks, he's going to defrost all these Winter Soldiers and go to town, but he doesn't. In actual fact,
he just kills them all.
Yeah, and Tony Stark comes to it from the other end because he realizes that thanks to a tip from Falcon that
and at this stage, all of the other guys have been captured.
Yeah. They've after the airport fight, they've been captured and they've been put in the raft. It was good to see the raft from the comics, turning up and stuff like that, and Ross running and things. You have to wonder, like, if some of the other villains from the previous Marvel movies are in there, like the Abomination and stuff from the Incredible Hulk and things like that.
They're never going to do the Abomination again.
I hope they do.
I think General Ross is as close to an acknowledgement that the Incredible Hulk ever happened.
Fair enough. You're probably right.
Yeah.
What else is good? Sharon Carter and Steve and their relationship is great.
No, they don't do a great deal with it. But
what they do is great. Okay.
But we haven't talked about the final fight.
So anyway,
it's just brutal.
Yeah. So Steve and Bucky get there, and Iron Man gets there, and they're like, "Are we cool?" And then Iron Man's like, "Yeah, we're cool. This is true. We're totally fine."
And then he sees his parents being killed by the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, which is something you saw at the beginning of the film, but didn't really understand. It was the Winter Soldier, and he went on. So anyway, yeah. So he kills him, and Zemo makes them watch the recording of it, and then Tony, it's fair to say, is very cross, very, very angry, as we all would be, and goes after the Winter Soldier. And then it's revealed that when Steve found out in Winter Soldier that Hydra was behind the death of
I'm pretty sure it was in the Winter Soldier about him killing his parents.
No, it was just Hydra. It was blah blah blah. Whoever.
I thought it was highly implied that he did it.
No. It was just said that Hydra had been manipulating things from behind the scenes, but it didn't say like they were the ones. It didn't say that the Winter Soldier personally was the one that did it. It said that Hydra did it.
Okay, I've picked that up from somewhere then, because I've known since that movie then.
So it's a very brutal fight, and it's
a quite brutal movie.
Yeah,
it's not suitable for little kids at all.
And and at the end they beat Tony, and they're about to walk off, and then Tony's like, "My dad made that shield. You don't get to keep that shield." And then Steve's like, "Fine," and he drops it.
And it's got like a big scratch down it from where Black Panther got him earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, very knocked out of the park. Very, very good movie.
Yeah, it's very good. I would say, and given the way they managed to handle all the characters and stuff, I'd say that Infinity War is probably
in the bag.
Probably. I mean, we don't know. It could be a complete mess. It's unlikely.
Right. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Yeah, it's goodbye from me.